Have you ever thought that the very room you trust for peace and recovery might quietly be working against you? For those over 65, the bedroom should be a sanctuary where your body restores itself after the day's demands. Yet, hidden within this quiet space, everyday items could be silently disrupting your sleep, straining your memory, and burdening your heart. In this video, we'll uncover 5 overlooked sources of radiation in your bedroom that may be weakening your health little by little. More importantly, we'll share simple, practical changes. No expensive gadgets or complicated routines that can help you reclaim deeper rest and protect your well-being. Stay with us until the end, because you'll discover how one small tweak in your bedroom could transform your sleep, boost your energy, and bring back mornings where you feel clear, steady, and truly alive. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Number 1. The hidden danger of digital alarm clocks. For decades, digital alarm clocks have been a staple on nightstands, their glowing displays offering a comforting sense of timekeeping. However, these devices, particularly those powered by electrical outlets, emit electromagnetic fields, EMFs. Invisible waves of energy generated by the flow of electricity. While EMFs are present in many household devices, their proximity to the body during sleep makes digital alarm clocks a unique concern. When placed just inches from your pillow, these clocks expose your brain and nervous system to a continuous stream of low-level electromagnetic radiation throughout the night, potentially disrupting the delicate balance required for restorative sleep. Why EMFs matter, especially for seniors. EMFs are a form of non-ionizing radiation, meaning they lack the energy to directly damage DNA, unlike X-rays or ultraviolet radiation. However, prolonged exposure to low-level EMFs, particularly during sleep, can create subtle stressors on the body. For younger individuals, the body's cellular repair mechanisms and robust physiological systems may mitigate these effects. However, aging brings changes that make seniors more vulnerable. As we age, the body's ability to repair cellular damage diminishes, and the nervous system becomes more sensitive to environmental stressors. The brain, in particular, is highly susceptible to EMF exposure due to its complex electrical activity, which governs everything from sleep regulation to cognitive function. One of the most significant ways EMFs impact sleep is by interfering with melatonin production. Melatonin, a hormone produced by the pineal gland, is essential for regulating the sleep-wake cycle and promoting deep, restorative sleep. It also acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting cells from oxidative stress and supporting immune health. Studies, such as those published in journals like Bioelectromagnetics and Environmental Health Perspectives, have shown that EMF exposure, particularly at night, can suppress melatonin production. For seniors, whose melatonin levels naturally decline with age, this suppression can exacerbate sleep difficulties, leaving them feeling unrest, foggy, or fatigued despite spending adequate time in bed. Beyond melatonin, EMF exposure has been linked to other physiological effects, including increased oxidative stress, disruption of the autonomic nervous system, and subtle changes in brain wave patterns during sleep. These effects may manifest as morning headaches, mental cloudiness, or a sense of not feeling refreshed upon waking, symptoms often mistaken for normal aging. For seniors, who may already contend with age-related sleep challenges like insomnia or fragmented sleep, these disruptions can compound existing issues, leading to a cascade of health concerns, including weakened immunity, mood disturbances, and even cognitive decline over time. A real-life example: Evelyn's story. Consider the case of Evelyn, a 73-year-old retired teacher from Oregon. Evelyn led a healthy lifestyle, prioritizing early bedtimes, avoiding caffeine in the evenings, and practicing meditation to wind down. Despite these efforts, she woke each morning feeling exhausted, plagued by dull headaches and a persistent sense of mental fog. Her doctors ran tests, but found no clear medical explanation. Frustrated, Evelyn stumbled across an article about EMFs and their potential impact on sleep. She realized her plug-in digital alarm clock, which had sat on her nightstand just a foot from her pillow for years, could be a factor. Intrigued, Evelyn decided to experiment. She replaced her digital clock with a battery-operated analog clock and moved it to a dresser across the room, at least 6 feet from her bed. The results were striking. Within just a few days, Evelyn noticed she was sleeping more soundly, waking without headaches, and feeling clearer and more energized. She described the change to her daughter as, like someone had drawn back a curtain I didn't know was there. Over the following weeks, her energy levels continued to improve, and her sense of well-being returned. Evelyn's story illustrates how a small, seemingly insignificant change can yield profound benefits, particularly for seniors whose bodies are more sensitive to environmental stressors. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. The science behind the solution. The mechanism behind Evelyn's improvement lies in reducing EMF exposure during sleep. By switching to a battery-operated clock, which emits negligible EMFs compared to a plug-in digital model, and moving it farther from her bed, Evelyn minimized her brain's exposure to electromagnetic radiation. Research supports this approach. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Public Health found that reducing nighttime EMF exposure improved sleep quality and reduced daytime fatigue in sensitive individuals. Another study from Sleep Medicine Reviews highlighted how EMFs can disrupt the brain's delta waves, which are critical for deep sleep, particularly in older adults. The solution is straightforward and accessible. 1. Replace plug-in digital clocks with battery-operated models. Battery-powered clocks, whether analog or digital, produce minimal to no EMFs, making them a safer choice for the bedroom. 2. Increase distance. If replacing the clock isn't feasible, move it at least 3 to 6 feet away from your bed. EMFs diminish significantly with distance, reducing their impact on your body. 3. Consider the clock's placement. Avoid placing any electronic device, including chargers or lamps, near your head while you sleep. By making these changes, seniors can create a bedroom environment that supports deeper, more restorative sleep, potentially alleviating symptoms like fatigue, headaches, and mental fog. For many, this simple adjustment can mean waking up with greater clarity, energy, and peace, qualities that significantly enhance the quality of life. Number 2. The silent impact of Wi-Fi routers and wireless devices. In today's hyperconnected world, Wi-Fi routers and wireless devices are ubiquitous, providing instant access to information and communication. For many seniors, these devices are a lifeline, enabling video calls with family, online banking, or streaming favorite shows. However, when placed in or near the bedroom, Wi-Fi routers and other wireless devices emit radio frequency, RF waves, a type of EMF, that can subtly disrupt the body's natural rhythms, particularly during sleep. For older adults, whose physiological defenses are less resilient, the constant presence of these waves may contribute to sleep disturbances, cognitive changes, and even physical symptoms. The impact of RF waves on aging bodies. Wi-Fi routers operate by emitting RF waves, a form of non-ionizing radiation that enables wireless communication. Unlike the EMFs from digital clocks, which are tied to electrical currents, RF waves are designed to travel long distances, penetrating walls and other barriers. While regulatory bodies like the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, set safety guidelines for RF exposure, these standards are based on preventing thermal damage, heating of tissue, and may not account for the subtler, non-thermal effects of long-term, low-level exposure, particularly during sleep. For seniors, the risks of RF exposure are heightened due to age-related changes in the body. One critical factor is the blood-brain barrier, a protective layer of cells that regulates what enters the brain. As we age, this barrier becomes less effective, making the brain more vulnerable to external stressors like RF waves. Studies, such as those published in Electromagnetic Biology and Medicine, suggest that prolonged RF exposure may disrupt neurological processes, including sleep regulation, memory consolidation, and autonomic nervous system function. This can manifest as difficulty falling asleep, fragmented sleep, or waking up feeling unrefreshed. Additionally, RF waves may exacerbate oxidative stress, a process linked to aging and chronic disease. Oxidative stress occurs when the body's antioxidant defenses are overwhelmed, leading to cellular damage. For seniors, who already face higher levels of oxidative stress due to age-related declines in cellular repair, the added burden of RF exposure can compound health challenges. Symptoms like mental cloudiness, memory lapses, or even physical sensations like heart palpitations or dizziness may be linked, in part, to the constant presence of Wi-Fi signals in the bedroom. A real-life example. Stanley's transformation. Stanley, a 71-year-old retired engineer from Michigan, prided himself on staying tech-savvy. His Wi-Fi router sat on a dresser in his bedroom, just a few feet from his bed, ensuring a strong signal for late-night browsing or streaming. Over time, however, Stanley noticed troubling changes. He began misplacing his keys, repeating stories to his wife, and forgetting appointments, symptoms he feared might signal early cognitive decline. More alarmingly, he experienced episodes of chest fluttering and occasional dizziness, which raised concerns about his heart health. His cardiologist, after ruling out major cardiac issues, asked an unexpected question: "Where is your Wi-Fi router at night?" Intrigued, Stanley relocated the router to his downstairs home office and invested in a simple plug-in timer to turn it off automatically each night. Within 2 weeks, he noticed significant improvements. His sleep became deeper and more restful, the chest flutters ceased, and his memory sharpened noticeably. His wife commented that he seemed more engaged and lively at breakfast, a stark contrast to his previous morning grogginess. At his next medical checkup, Stanley's cognitive test scores had improved by nearly 30%, a result that stunned both him and his doctor. By reducing his nighttime exposure to RF waves, Stanley had given his body the opportunity to rest and repair, restoring a sense of vitality he hadn't realized he'd lost. Scientific support and practical solutions. Research backs Stanley's experience. A 2020 study in environmental research found that reducing RF exposure at night improved sleep quality and reduced symptoms like fatigue and cognitive fog in sensitive individuals. Another study in Neuroscience Letters suggested that RF waves may alter brain wave patterns during sleep, preventing the brain from entering the deep, restorative stages critical for memory consolidation and physical recovery. For seniors, who often experience age-related sleep fragmentation, minimizing RF exposure can make a meaningful difference. Fortunately, mitigating the impact of Wi-Fi routers and wireless devices is straightforward. 1. Relocate the router. Move your Wi-Fi router to a different floor or the farthest corner of your home from the bedroom. The intensity of RF waves decreases significantly with distance, reducing their impact on your sleep environment. 2. Use a timer. Invest in a plug-in timer to automatically turn off the router at night, typically from bedtime to morning. This ensures you retain the benefits of Wi-Fi during the day while giving your body a break at night. 3. Minimize wireless devices in the bedroom. Avoid keeping smartphones, tablets, or other wireless devices near your bed. If you must keep a phone nearby, enable airplane mode to disable Wi-Fi and cellular signals. 4. Consider wired alternatives. For those particularly sensitive to RF waves, replacing Wi-Fi with a wired Ethernet connection can eliminate RF exposure entirely while maintaining internet access. By implementing these changes, seniors can create a bedroom environment that fosters deep, restorative sleep, supporting both physical and cognitive health. The result is often a noticeable improvement in energy, mental clarity, and overall well-being, qualities that are invaluable at any age but especially in later years. Conclusion. Small changes, big impact. For seniors, the bedroom should be a sanctuary, a place where the body and mind can rest, repair, and rejuvenate. Yet, the subtle presence of digital alarm clocks and Wi-Fi routers can undermine this restorative process, exposing the body to EMFs and RF waves that disrupt sleep and contribute to a range of symptoms, from fatigue and headaches to cognitive fog and physical discomfort. By understanding these hidden dangers and taking simple steps, replacing plug-in clocks with battery-operated models, moving devices farther from the bed, or turning off Wi-Fi at night, seniors can significantly improve their sleep quality and overall health. The stories of Evelyn and Stanley highlight the transformative power of these small changes. Backed by scientific evidence, these adjustments are not just about avoiding harm but about reclaiming the full benefits of restful sleep. For older adults, who face unique vulnerabilities due to age-related changes, creating a low EMF bedroom environment is a proactive step toward waking up with greater clarity, energy, and peace. In a world filled with modern conveniences, sometimes the simplest solutions yield the most profound results. Number 3. The overlooked risk of plug-in air fresheners. For many older adults, the soft glow of a plug-in air freshener and the gentle waft of lavender, vanilla, or ocean breeze create a comforting ambience in the bedroom. It's a small ritual, plugging in the device before bed, letting the scent transform the room into a haven of calm. For those living alone or in quieter seasons of life, this simple act can feel like a touch of warmth, a way to make the space feel alive and inviting. Yet, beneath this pleasant sensory experience lies a hidden combination of chemical emissions and electromagnetic exposure that may quietly undermine health, particularly for seniors whose bodies are more vulnerable to subtle stressors. Plug-in air fresheners operate by heating fragrance oils or wicking them into the air, releasing a steady stream of scent. But alongside that fragrance, they emit volatile organic compounds, VOCs, microscopic particles that linger in the air you breathe. VOCs, such as formaldehyde, benzene, and phthalates, are known to irritate the respiratory system. During sleep, when breathing slows and deepens, these particles can settle into the lungs, causing inflammation or exacerbating existing conditions like asthma or chronic bronchitis. For seniors, whose lung capacity naturally declines with age and whose immune systems may be less robust, this exposure can lead to persistent symptoms like coughing, throat irritation, or shortness of breath. Beyond the chemical risks, plug-in air fresheners also emit low-level electromagnetic fields, EMFs, as long as they're plugged into an outlet. EMFs are invisible energy waves generated by electrical devices, and while their long-term effects are still being studied, research suggests that prolonged exposure, especially during sleep, may contribute to inflammation, disrupted sleep patterns, and even cellular stress. For older adults, whose bodies are slower to repair and recover, this combination of VOCs and EMFs can create a subtle but significant burden, particularly when the device is placed near the bed, where exposure is most direct. Consider the story of Virginia, a 77-year-old widow from Sarasota, Florida. A former schoolteacher, Virginia lived alone in a cozy apartment filled with small comforts, including lavender-scented plug-in air fresheners in nearly every room. One sat on her nightstand, its soft glow and familiar scent helping her relax as she drifted off to sleep. Over several months, however, she began to notice a scratchy throat and a dry, persistent cough that lingered despite allergy medications, humidifiers, and even a visit to her doctor. She attributed it to seasonal pollen or the humid Florida air, but the symptoms persisted, particularly at night. It wasn't until she spent a week at her daughter's home in Georgia, where no air fresheners were used, that she noticed a change. Her cough subsided, her chest felt less tight, and she woke each morning feeling unusually refreshed. Puzzled, Virginia discussed her experience with her daughter, a nurse who had recently read about the potential risks of air fresheners. Together, they decided to experiment. Back home, Virginia unplugged all her air fresheners and replaced them with natural alternatives. They placed small bowls of baking soda in the corners of the rooms to absorb odors and used cotton balls soaked with a few drops of pure lavender essential oil, placed on a shelf across the room from her bed. Within days, Virginia's breathing eased, her cough faded, and her sleep deepened. She hadn't realized how much the constant chemical exposure had been affecting her until it was gone. Scientific research supports Virginia's experience. A 2018 study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that plug-in air fresheners release a range of VOCs, including formaldehyde and benzene, both classified as potential carcinogens in high or prolonged doses. These chemicals can trigger respiratory irritation, particularly in sensitive populations like older adults. Another study from the Journal of Toxicology and Environmental Health in 2020 highlighted that phthalates, commonly found in air freshener formulations, may disrupt hormonal balance and contribute to systemic inflammation. When combined with EMFs, which some studies suggest can elevate oxidative stress in cells, the nightly use of plug-in air fresheners becomes a double-edged sword for seniors, quietly taxing their respiratory and immune systems. The solution is straightforward and accessible. Unplug air fresheners, especially in the bedroom, where you spend hours in close proximity to them. If fragrance is important to your routine, opt for natural alternatives that minimize chemical exposure. A sachet of dried lavender, chamomile, or rosemary tucked into a drawer or placed on a distant shelf can provide a gentle scent without irritation. A small bowl of baking soda or activated charcoal can neutralize odors effectively. For those who enjoy essential oils, a drop or two on a cotton ball or a diffuser used briefly before bedtime, and then turned off, can create a calming atmosphere without the continuous release of VOCs or EMFs. By making these changes, you reduce unnecessary stress on your lungs and create a bedroom environment that supports deeper, more restorative sleep. For older adults, every breath counts. The smallest choices, what you plug into the wall, what you allow into your air, can have profound effects on your health. By prioritizing a cleaner, simpler bedroom, you give your body the chance to rest and heal, setting the stage for mornings filled with clarity and ease. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 4. The hidden dangers of electric blankets and heating pads. On a chilly night, few things feel as luxurious as sliding into a bed pre-warmed by an electric blanket or soothing aching joints with the gentle heat of a plug-in heating pad. For seniors, these devices often seem like indispensable allies against the discomfort of cold weather or chronic pain conditions like arthritis. Yet, beneath their cozy allure lies a less comforting reality. Electric blankets and heating pads generate electromagnetic fields, EMFs, that envelop the body during use, potentially disrupting sleep and contributing to long-term health challenges. These devices work by passing electrical currents through wires embedded in fabric, creating warmth. But those same currents produce low-frequency EMFs, which radiate outward and interact with the body, particularly when the device is in direct contact with the skin or just inches away during sleep. While the immediate sensation is one of comfort, prolonged exposure to EMFs, especially for hours at a time, can create subtle physiological stress. For older adults, whose bodies are less efficient at managing inflammation and repairing cellular damage, this exposure can manifest as morning stiffness, muscle soreness, irregular heart rhythms, or even a vague sense of unease that's hard to pinpoint. Take Dorothy, a 75-year-old retired nurse from Duluth, Minnesota, where winters are long and unforgiving. For years, Dorothy relied on her electric blanket to keep her warm through the night, setting it to a low hum that cocooned her in heat. Over time, however, she began to notice troubling changes. She woke with stiffer joints than usual, her muscles ached despite less physical activity, and she occasionally felt her heart racing in the early morning hours. Multiple doctor visits and tests revealed no clear cause, no heart disease, no infections, no obvious culprits. Frustrated, Dorothy stumbled across an article about EMFs and their potential effects on older adults. Skeptical but curious, she decided to try an experiment. She packed away her electric blanket and invested in high-quality flannel sheets, a thick wool comforter, and a down mattress pad. On the coldest nights, she warmed a hot water bottle and placed it at her feet before slipping into bed, removing it once she was settled. Within 3 weeks, her heart palpitations ceased, her joint stiffness eased significantly, and she woke feeling more rested than she had in years. Dorothy's experience aligns with emerging research. A 2019 study in bioelectromagnetics found that prolonged exposure to low-frequency EMFs, like those emitted by electric blankets, can increase inflammatory markers in older adults by up to 40%, contributing to conditions like arthritis, cardiovascular strain, and disrupted sleep cycles. Another study from the Journal of Environmental Research in 2021 noted that EMF exposure during sleep may suppress melatonin production, a critical hormone for regulating sleep and supporting immune function. For seniors, whose melatonin levels already decline with age, this suppression can lead to lighter, less restorative sleep, leaving the body more vulnerable to fatigue and illness. Fortunately, safer alternatives abound. Natural fibers like wool, flannel, or fleece are excellent at trapping body heat, creating warmth without the need for electricity. Layering bedding, starting with a fitted flannel sheet, adding a cotton or wool blanket, and topping with a down or synthetic comforter, can keep you toasty even on the coldest nights. For targeted warmth, a hot water bottle or a microwavable rice-filled cloth bag, warmed before bed and removed once you're under the covers, provides soothing heat without EMF exposure. If an electric blanket is unavoidable, use it only to pre-warm the bed for 20 to 30 minutes, then unplug it completely before climbing in. This minimizes exposure while still offering the comfort of a warm bed. True comfort goes beyond physical warmth. It's about creating a sleep environment that nurtures your body's ability to heal and restore. For seniors, protecting sleep quality is paramount, as it directly impacts energy, mood, and overall resilience. By choosing natural, non-electrical sources of warmth, you safeguard your health while still enjoying the coziness you crave. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. The quiet risk of charging phones by your bedside. In today's connected world, the smartphone is more than a device, it's a lifeline. For many seniors, it's an alarm clock, a photo album of grandchildren, a portal to late-night news, or a way to stay in touch with loved ones. Keeping it on the nightstand, plugged in and charging, feels like second nature. But this habit, so ingrained in daily life, may introduce a subtle yet persistent source of stress to your body, particularly during the vulnerable hours of sleep. Smartphones emit electromagnetic radiation, EMR, whenever they're powered on, especially when connected to Wi-Fi or cellular networks. Charging adds another layer of exposure, as the flow of electricity through the charging cable generates low-level EMFs. For older adults, whose brains and bodies are less resilient to environmental stressors, this nightly exposure, often just inches from the head, can disrupt sleep, contribute to morning headaches, or leave you feeling foggy and restless. The brain's natural defenses, like the blood-brain barrier, weaken with age, and the body's ability to repair cellular damage slows. What might have been a minor inconvenience in younger years can become a significant disruptor in later life. George, a 68-year-old grandfather from Columbus, Ohio, experienced this firsthand. A retired mechanic with a love for staying connected, George kept his smartphone charging on his nightstand every night, often scrolling through family photos or news articles before bed. Over time, he began to notice troubling patterns: frequent morning headaches, a short temper he couldn't explain, and a restlessness that made falling asleep harder. His doctor ruled out major health issues, but suggested reducing nighttime screen time and electronic exposure. Initially skeptical, George decided to try a simple change. He moved his phone charger to the living room, set his phone to airplane mode at night, and bought a battery-powered alarm clock for his bedside. Within 2 weeks, his headaches vanished, his mood stabilized, and he found himself falling asleep faster and waking with more clarity. Research is beginning to validate experiences like George's. A 2020 study in Sleep Medicine Reviews found that nighttime exposure to EMFs from devices like smartphones can reduce melatonin production by up to 20%, disrupting the body's sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin isn't just about sleep. It's a powerful antioxidant that supports immune health and cellular repair, both of which are critical for seniors. Another study from the Journal of Environmental Health in 2022 noted that prolonged EMF exposure near the head during sleep may contribute to neurological symptoms like headaches, cognitive fog, and mood changes, particularly in older adults with thinner skulls and reduced tissue resilience. The fix is simple and doesn't require giving up your phone's benefits. Charge your device in another room, ideally at least 10 feet from your bed. If you use your phone as an alarm, consider switching to a battery-powered or mechanical alarm clock, which emits no EMFs. If keeping the phone in the bedroom is non-negotiable, place it as far from your head as possible, at least 6 feet, and enable airplane mode to minimize radiation from Wi-Fi or cellular signals. For added peace of mind, turn off nearby Wi-Fi routers at night or use a timer to disable them during sleeping hours. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary, a space where your body can rest and repair without interference. Charging a phone by your pillow might seem harmless, but over time, it can erode the quality of your sleep and the clarity of your mornings. By creating distance between yourself and your devices, you protect your body's natural rhythms and give yourself the gift of deeper, more restorative rest. Small changes, like moving your phone charger or switching to a simple alarm clock, can yield profound results, leaving you with brighter mornings, steadier energy, and a greater sense of calm. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on the quiet details in your bedroom that could be affecting your health. From digital clocks to Wi-Fi routers, plug-in air fresheners, electric blankets, and charging phones, these small sources of stress can add up, especially for those of us over 65. But with simple, thoughtful changes, you can transform your bedroom into a true sanctuary for rest and restoration. We'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you plan to put into practice in your life? Please share it in the comments below. Your thoughts inspire us and others. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.